Today's fun fact of the day has to do with Isaac Newton, one of the greatest scientists of all time. Did you know that Isaac Newton actually studied for a degree in law? It's no wonder that his greatest contributions are called the three laws of motion. Now, his three laws are, the first one, every object in a state of uniform motion will remain in that state of motion unless an external force acts upon it. His second one is force equals mass times acceleration. And the third one is the one that is most famous, the one that we all know, which is for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And these laws form the foundation of Newtonian physics. The formulas of these laws propelled physics forward. It gave physics momentum, you could say. Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach podcast. I'm Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach, the podcast where we evolve into the best versions of ourselves, one awesome habit at a time. Now, these laws, apart from physics, made it into the popular culture as well, with the third law of motion being used by a number of self-help gurus to describe karma. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Perfect understanding of karma. So let's continue this trend of using this serious physics to help with our everyday habit changes. I am concerned with Newton's first law of motion, which states that any object in motion tends to stay in motion unless an external force acts upon it. But more importantly, if the object is at rest, it will remain at rest unless an unbalanced force acts upon it. So Newton's first law of motion is also known as the law of inertia. So let's stop and think. What is the hardest part of making a change in your life? Isn't it getting over that initial inertia that is there? That first few steps, aren't those always the hardest? The first week is always the hardest. But once you get going, in your habit, that change gets easier. But till that point, it's very hard to move forward. But once you get your habit going, the change is easier. But till that point, it's very hard to move forward. The first part of the law talks about how if you are in motion, an external force can slow you down. Now, this external force can be a holiday or an illness, or it can be something that happens to us 52 times every year. In a word, weekends. Think about it. You've been crushing it all week. Your momentum is through the roof. And then all of a sudden, the weekend comes along. And there are these 2 days of a break. Now, if you remember, the golden rules of habit change say never miss 2 days in a row. The weekend makes you miss 2 days in a row. I see this especially when it comes to the gym or exercise. And this can affect work, nutrition, and any other habit that you're trying to change. As your habit coach, I want you to maintain that momentum. I want you to keep that momentum going. I want you to own that habit. For that, you need to form another habit to do 52 times a year. Never miss a Monday. If you're exercising, never miss a Monday. If you're eating clean, never miss a Monday. If you're trying to sleep early, never miss a Monday. Chances are you binged watched something over the weekend and you got no movement in. Chances are you binge ate or drank over the weekend. After all, that's what weekends are for, gluttony. Chances are you had a late night on a Friday and a Saturday because Sunday is a holiday. And with all of that, inertia is created once again. 2 days missed, remember. So the worst thing is to get up and start missing 3 days in a row, because it will become 4 days in a row and 5 days in a row. So your simple habit to maintain momentum and beat this inertia is to never miss a Monday. And this rule applies to any habit change that you want to bring about. Never ever miss a Monday. It's the start of the week. What you do on a Monday defines how the rest of your week is going to go. So remember, never ever miss a Monday. If you like this episode, don't forget to hit subscribe. Also, give us a rating. It really helps with people discovering the podcast. If you like podcasts like this, check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can also watch all the episodes on the Habit Coach Awesome 180 YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere. You can also reach out to me. I am Ashdin Doc at Twitter and Instagram. You can connect with me on my website, awesome180.com. You can also check out my 2 new books, Change Your Habits, Change Your Life, and the second, The Book of Good Habits for Kids. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach.
IVM.